From 1999 to 2004, Woods went on a run of achievements that will likely never be seen again, but Tiger was known for breaking all expectations even after his prime, which nearly led him to breaking his own biggest accomplishment several times. And this is one of those stories, but buckle up because this is also one of his saddest moments as well. Going into the 2006 PGA Tour season, Tiger Woods was seemingly back to his very best. After 3 rocky years in a row where he went 0-10 in majors from 2002 to 2004, Tiger and swing instructor Hank Haney had finally come to grips with a swing change they could be happy with for the time being, and it showed. Tiger's 2005 had ended in absolutely ridiculous fashion, as he won the Masters and the Open Championship and was just 4 strokes in total away from winning both the US Open and the PGA Championship that year. He had been close to a Grand Slam before, but now he, for the first time really, but as we go on to know, not for the last time, crawled his way out from the trenches to establish himself above everyone else when he was playing his best golf. And he flew into 2006 with that form, winning the Buick Invitational in January. Fast forwarding to March, and Tiger was accepting yet another trophy for a championship at Doral, putting him in prime position to take the Players' Championship on later that month. But this is where I think everything started to unravel for him. See, Tiger's father, Earl Woods, the man who more or less built Tiger into the robot he was, had been fighting cancer for years. Now, his father's illness hadn't affected Tiger's performances before, as Tiger won the Masters in 2005 for the first time without his father there due to his illness, but by 2006, Earl was just getting much worse, and that finally began affecting the way Tiger was playing.
When Dad was sick, he really said some pretty outlandish things, but I took it personal.
Apparently, there was some sort of fight between Tiger and his father, and that created a lot of animosity between the two, severing their relationship and hurting Tiger's performances going through the year. In March, Tiger placed 20 at Bay Hill and followed it with a 22nd placed at the Players. Combined with a withdrawal earlier in the year, the signs were beginning to show that something was off for Tiger, even if he had won twice already that year. And that all led to the 2006 Masters, the chance for him to recover his form, show everyone that the same prime Tiger that we had all seen and loved once was back, but it wasn't so easy for Woods that week. Tiger was able to play safe golf for the first 3 rounds, going into Sunday at 2 under, just 2 strokes back of the lead. The truth is, he had never come back from behind to win a major before, only ever leading from the front and usually dominating the field from there. But with the chaotic conditions that week, I'm sure a lot of people were expecting a big run from Tiger, and on Sunday, he put himself in prime position to do that. However, honestly, he played lamely relative to what I'm sure everyone expected. He striked the ball the best he had ever at Augusta, but could not putt for anything. It could have very easily been a different story, but his play on the greens was about as bad as it had ever been. Tiger missed 2 eagle putts from within 10 feet, 3 putted 3 times, and missed 3 birdie putts all on the front 9 on Sunday. After the round, Tiger said to a reporter, "I felt so much control on my ball from tee to green. It's the best I've hit it in years, but I absolutely lost out there on the greens." He ended that day with a few words about his father probably not being happy with how he putted from watching him on TV, and from there I'm sure his loss by just 2 strokes took the news over. But it's in that conversation, in those words about his father, that offers us a little bit more insight into what was actually going on in the mind of the great Tiger Woods at the time.
He was my best friend, and you know, having your best friend be your father is a very unique thing.
If we look deeper into the relationship between Earl and Tiger, it hasn't always been the best. Tiger clearly idolizes his father and appreciates everything he did for him from what he says about him today, but the truth is, his parents were always incredibly hard on him. That family had this idea of what Tiger would become, and they would not let him divert from that plan, even if some of his choices could have been very healthy for him. When he had a girlfriend through high school and college, he allegedly escaped to her house often where he could relax because of all the chaos there. But when Tiger one day left college early without telling his parents to see his girlfriend, they were outraged and made him put a stop to it. That girl was just too much of a risk for them. Them having kids at that young of an age was not in Tiger's parents' plans for the young man, and so Woods had to do what his parents told him, even though he was 19 years old. The way they raised him deserves a video in and of itself, but the main takeaway here is that Tiger was relatively sheltered as a kid, and his parents, alongside the game of golf, were his world. But now, Tiger Woods lost part of that world. On May 3rd, 2006, Earl Woods passed away at the age of 74, not only leaving Tiger without his father, but leaving him on a bad note as well. They had been fighting at the time, and so Tiger may not have been able to say all the things he wanted, straining their relationship and deeply affecting his abilities on the course, as I'm sure we can all understand. How is he supposed to focus on tournaments when he had just lost the man who taught him everything, who made it possible for Tiger Woods to become the best? Well, Tiger couldn't do it, and it turns out that that Masters he had failed to take control of in the so many moments that he had to do so was the last tournament his father would ever see him play in. After taking a month off from golf, Tiger walked into the 2006 US Open at Winged Foot and walked out 2 days later, missing the cut by 3 strokes and ending his record-tying streak of 39 consecutive cuts made in majors. Tiger wasn't able to put it together through his struggle. No clear ability on the course could overpower the pain he was clearly suffering, and rightly so. But then something happened and a switch was flicked inside of Tiger Woods. We've seen throughout the years Tiger entertain a certain flow state, one that led him to the Tiger Slam and brought him a 15th major despite all the odds against him. But in 2006, I think it was something else, something that Tiger likes to call having his father as his 15th club on the course. And that, well, brought him into a phase that was arguably and very nearly his best run of form ever seen in his entire career. Going into the 2006 Open Championship at Royal Liverpool Golf Club, as per usual, all eyes were on Tiger Woods. Could he come back? Could he recover his form? Or would we see another fumble like earlier that year? Golf pundits claimed that the sporting world needed Tiger of old back, needed him to compete with the top of the pack at Liverpool because that's what brought fans around and inspired interest in the sport. They claimed that golf was diminished without Tiger Woods in it, but in it, Woods would be that July. Leading to the Open, Woods had already turned in a solid second place finish at that year's Western Open, recovering from the US Open pretty well and was priming his starter. The only question was how hot would he come out of the gates? Thursday, 67. With a very strong field, all putting in good performances, Tiger dropped a 5-under score that put him in second place and reassured everyone that Tiger could play great golf again. But this time, his great golf looked a little bit different than it used to. For years, Woods had led to the great lengthening of golf courses to combat his massive length off the tee, but at the Open this year, his game took on a whole new image. He dropped his driver and chose to play different as the fiery fairways were seeing balls roll 350 yards into no man's land. Tiger would need his elite ball striking that we had seen at the Masters earlier that year, just hopefully he would putt well on top of it. Friday, 7 under 65. Tiger Woods was now leading the pack, and that stat of him never losing a major after leading for 36 holes was looming over his head yet again. With Ernie Els, Chris DeMarco, and a whole host of others hanging just a few shots back, well, Woods would have to be the very best Tiger to finish off the field that week. Saturday, 71. A tamer round from Tiger Saturday saw Sergio Garcia, Els, and DeMarco fall into a tie for second, just 1 stroke behind Woods. Viewers from all over clung to their seats because Tiger had failed to put the competition away, and his record seems to be on the brink. After all, with what he had to deal with earlier that year, anything could happen to him. But as the sun set on Sunday, Tiger Woods slammed his head into the shoulder of caddy Steve Williams as he celebrated his 2-stroke victory after a clean round of 67. There he earned himself his 11th major title under incredible circumstances with a different game plan than the norm, and man was he elite while doing it. He led the tournament with 86% of fairways hit and was second with 81% of greens in regulation. Tiger Woods held off frustration through countless crowd distractions as they all wanted a picture of Woods winning again, leading to some pretty funny clips of Williams yelling at them. But Tiger did it, and did it for his father. Go watch the final putt if you don't know what I'm talking about. But this was all just the beginning of the true insanity of near golf perfection that was yet to come that year. 2 weeks later, Tiger competed in the Buick Open, which he won at 24 under, placing him in prime position to be prepped for the PGA Championship. Thursday, 69. Nice. Tiger was in solid position, not the leader by any means, but it was a safe position to be in nonetheless. Friday 68, with a bogey-free second round, Tiger was sailing, playing clean golf, and sitting just one stroke back of the lead, which he would take on Saturday. 7 under 65. That day, Tiger matched the course record and gaining himself the share of the lead while he was at it and the ability to go into Sunday just like he had so many times before and run away with it, which is exactly what happened. Sunday 68. After yet another incredibly clean round of golf, Tiger easily saw off the rest of the pack, finishing 5 strokes ahead of the next best and lifting his second consecutive major trophy while quietly shooting the then second lowest score in a major to his 2000 Open victory at St. Andrews. That week, he only had 3 bogeys, and pundits were watching him play in awe. Seeing Tiger win now was like deja vu to what they had seen when he put in the single greatest performance during the Tiger Slam and was leading many people to think he was swinging it or at least competing better than he ever was. Managing majors was his specialty, but Tiger went on to dominate everything else for the rest of the year as well. Tiger competed in 4 more tournaments to round out 2006, all of which he won, bringing his purse total to nearly $10 million in a year where he faced his biggest hurdle of his career up to that point and walking away with 2 major victories while he was at it. Tiger was just 2 strokes and a morning-filled cut away from winning the Grand Slam that year. Sure, that's a lot to ask for, but it just goes to show you how good he truly was then, even with everything going on. And if we zoom out a little bit more, it gets even more impressive. Throughout 2007, Tiger won 7 official tour events while competing in 16. He also won the PGA Championship, came second in the Masters by 1 stroke, and second in the US Open by another 1 stroke. Now, if we zoom out to the 2005, 2006, and 2007 season, everything gets really ridiculous for Tiger's stats. His 2005 Masters win started a ridiculous streak. In the 2005 US Open, he lost by 2 strokes. Then in the 2005 Open Championship, he won. The 2005 PGA Championship, he lost by 2 strokes. In the 2006 Masters, he did the same. But then when he was mourning his father, he was cut from the US Open that year. However, he came back, as we know, winning the Open Championship and the PGA Championship that year. In the 2007 Masters, he lost by 1 stroke. And then in the 2007 US Open, again, he lost by 1 stroke. That means that Tiger was just 8 strokes and 1 tragedy-filled tournament away from 10 straight major wins. That's not to say making up that ground is easy by any means, as Jack Nicklaus finished in 2nd in majors more than he actually won them. But I just wanted to throw this period of seasons into the ring for one of the most dominant eras in Tiger's history, and one we should remember right alongside 1999 and 2000. He did all of this against all odds with the loss of his father, and that deserves so much credit, it's unbelievable. But thank you all again for watching this video. Let me know what you think. When was Tiger in his prime, and how close was he in these years?